Hello. Let's further discuss osteobiography and how it relates to two individuals by talking about their daily lives. One, one Northern African and one Eastern Asian that both moved from their respective countries to Anatolia, Turkey, in the Byzantine Empire. Now, both these individuals had trouble in their own respective countries, most of it due to a form of leadership. And they moved to Anatolia because of the opportunity it provides for growing agriculture. Now, first, my philosophy is the Northern Africans family moved to Anatolia first, and they built their own home there in a respective neighborhood. Then the Eastern Asians family moved there afterwards, a few years later, but they couldn't build their own home, so they had to purchase one that was already built previously. And now, these two individuals, once they met, they really connected with one another because they had similar problems in their respective countries. So they made each other feel good upon when they met. Now, unfortunately, some problems began to occur in Turkey as well, because some disaster has occurred that made it hard to grow agriculture and caused most people to switch to herding. And this in turn really affected our Northern African individual by leaving stress marks on his arms and other parts of his body. Because of with the great amount of work he had to do and how hard it was. The problems continued with the bubonic plague that spread, and our Eastern Asian friend, and he really felt the pain in both his legs and other parts of his body as well, from catching a disease from this plague. Now, so this plague eventually caused many individuals to perish, as it went on in the years, including our two individuals. Both their families did survive, which is another philosophy of mine, but once they saw their family members had perished, they thought it would be best to bury them together because of how close they were. Now let's further discuss these two human remains. Right here we have the Northern African. Here we have the Eastern Asian. And now we can tell they're both males by studying the pelvic bones, and we can understand other aspects of these two skeleton since through their stature, age, and ethnicity by studying the bones of these skeletons. But one thing we can't determine is what year they were buried during the Byzantine Empire, since there were no great goods that were buried alongside them. So we don't know much about the society that they were built around, though. But we can't analyze their bones to know it was sometime during the Byzantine Empire. If you look closely, this skeleton has some stress marks on his arms, and there's a cutoff of right above the knees of this skeleton. So, because of stress and the plague, these two who had a little trouble in their lives, but seeing that they were buried together, we can tell that they had a close relationship with one another. So that's all we have for you today. Hope that brings a little clarity on how osteobiography relates to bioarchaeology. Thank you.